Historians work largely with archives. Our job is to try to recreate what the past was like and what people in the past thought. And our principal way of doing that is getting access to their thoughts by the records they left behind. Archives are repositories of those records. Most of them are written records, documents, letters, memoirs, diaries. But sometimes also they are material objects that are left over from the past that give us access to the way the world was. So one of the great joys of archival work is this sense of discovery, but it comes at a price. A lot of archival work is drudgery. It's boring. You turn hours and hours worth of pages in order to find those little nuggets that are useful and that explain something to you. But they're compensated for by the tremendous rush you get when you find the right thing. If you find that document that suddenly opens a world of meaning to you, then you have this sense of discovery. And it's a sense that makes you feel not that you're the only person in the world that could have done this, but that you're the only person in the world who has done it. And I can remember two occasions working in a corporate archive in Frankfurt in Germany, where I came across documents that gave me this feeling of having discovered something that really illuminated a time and a place. The first one had to do with the starting point of my study, that is the months of 1933, right after Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. And I found a document from December 1933, 11 months after Hitler came into office, written by the chairman of the board of directors of this company. It had an odd origin. It was not a document written for his corporate colleagues and so forth. He was 68 years old and in poor health, and he wrote it for his nieces and nephews. He had no children of his own. He wrote it for his nieces and nephews to explain something. He wanted to explain to them why he had been so foolish as not to be a supporter of Adolf Hitler. Now that's a fascinating piece of paper. The document told me a number of things. It told me that he and his corporate friends in the elite of the city of Frankfurt had not been Nazis. He said, I didn't know anyone who was a Nazi. As far as we were concerned, this was just a boisterous rabble-rouser. That told me that some of what I had heard about the origins of the Third Reich, the way in which allegedly Hitler had been brought to power by the support of corporate executives who gave him a lot of money, that was very unlikely to be true. It also told me an awful lot about the first months of the Nazi regime, because here was somebody who had been, in a sense, converted by the speeches of Adolf Hitler, by the achievements of the new government in the first 11 months, reducing unemployment, for example, and so on, and who thus felt that he had to apologize for having earlier mistrusted this person. And then, in the very last section of this document, it goes on for about 12 pages, it pivots again. And he says, but still in all, now that I know how good they've been for Germany and so forth, I cannot be a National Socialist. And then he tells his nieces and nephews why. The first reason is he can't believe in the racial supremacy of the Germans. He simply thinks this is a scientifically irrefutable proposition. It's not believable. The second is that he doesn't believe in the Nazi Party's claims to be creating a total state in which everybody would work together in complete unison. He said people are not like that. That defies human nature. So I didn't believe in them. I now see how good they've been for the country, but I still can't be one of the party faithful. Now that's a document that got me into the complexities of the time very, very fast, and showed me that thinking of Germans in 1933 simply as either pro-Nazis or anti-Nazis, perpetrators or victims, was way too simple. These are the aha moments when you get a sense that you've discovered a piece of paper that opens up the terrain of the past to you, and then there's the thrilling moment when you put the pieces together and suddenly it's not just a piece of paper, it's a thing that brings meaning. I think the one message I would have is for students who are interested in things that don't have to do with the United States or Great Britain, don't stop taking your language courses. This is a very important skill to have. One of the things that's most daunting for students at the beginning is this question of, how do I get into it? How do I start? And then in the very first stages, you can feel swamped. My boat is so small and the ocean is so wide. The thing to realize is that everybody feels that way. And so Don't be afraid and ask questions. Always ask questions. History is the universal discipline. I think if you can do it and do it successfully, you can do almost anything else. Undergraduate historians go into all kinds of walks of life, and recent Northwestern history majors have done everything from broadcasting to veterinary medicine.